Welcome to this short online demonstration of the Material Matters portal. This screencast focuses on the Contract Matters module and runs for about 10 minutes and is to give you an overview of the functionality of Contract Matters and how that might benefit you as a golf club user. The first thing we're looking to do is to fire up internet access, so through whichever browser functionality is relevant to you, and then we're looking to go to the MapMap portal web address, which can be accessed through the Material Matters website or directly to this address as we've done in this example. As you'd expect, you're presented then with a main login, security protected and set up in terms of roles and responsibilities for the different levels of access required within each club. So we're just going to enter an example golf club to give you a run through in terms of the functionality that then sits within. So once we've logged in, you're presented with the main portal dashboard. There are 6 tools that sit within this. You can see that this particular golf club has access to 5 of those tools. The person logging in is immediately identified and therefore the golf club is identified. That user has the opportunity to manage their own profile. And we have the function that sits within here in terms of requesting a callback. So at any stage that you have a question or a query regarding a contract or quotation or whichever area it is, you can instantly then put in a telephone number and that will come through to Material Matters so that we can respond immediately to help, and you have the logout function as you would expect. So we're going to focus on Contract Matters, which is a core and critical tool in terms of the whole portal approach, and has been designed around feedback and issues and problems that golf clubs have in terms of managing the data regarding their contracts. We can access that through the top toolbar, or you can access that as you can with the other modules by clicking the icon itself. So by doing that, we're looking straight at the list of this golf club's current contracts. Multiple pages can exist. There's only one page with this example, but they would go on so you can then toggle and move between those, and you can see the contracts that are being looked after here from a telephone, electricity, gas, etc. point of view, and you have 5 at the bottom that are defined under other, which we'll cover in a little bit more detail as we go through. The core benefit of this is that there are very few golf clubs that we have come across within our group that have a clear-cut single data storage area where all of their contract information is stored. It's more usual where there isn't a single filing cabinet or a single area or somewhere where someone can always put that hand on all of their contract information, and that's what this is. It gives you a single storage where you know you can rely on being able to access that information at the touch of a button. Whether it's a question regarding supplier or rate being paid or when it was last reviewed, that data sits in one place for you. And that's because the contracts you've entered yourself. So you have an opportunity here, which is the view all, which we're looking at now, archive, which we'll come on to, and you're building up your list of contracts by adding them under add a new contract. So if I do that now, you'll see that what we've done is we've built templates for you in all the standard areas of contract, the ones that pretty much every golf club will have, to make that more relevant and easier, more straightforward to manage. So if we look at something like merchant services, then you have a template which is asking you the information that's relative to that type of contract. So some of those are required fields marked with the asterisks around the supplier, start date, end date, notice period. And then you have the contract specific data here around the financials, the rates that apply into that, and the vital information. And in all of these you have the opportunity to then upload documents, again making sure that you know where these documents are and you can always access them very, very quickly. So here your opportunity to upload a bill, upload a copy of the contract or any document that you think is relevant to the construction of this particular record, and you're able to save that, which adds it to your overall list. To give you an example, if you then looked at something like electricity, then you have a very different template. If you look at something like waste removal, then again very different again. So yes, the standard supplier information and date information, but here you're looking to build a picture of the container types that are covered by this contract. So you can add those by then choosing from the drop downs, which always give you relevant defined measures against the data that's required, and the same with something like the type of waste. And then you can build a picture of the frequency of collection, the price that applies, and you're able to then add documents in the same way. Of course, you're likely to have more than one container, so you have this opportunity to then add further records, so you're constantly building a picture that's reflecting your exact contract setup currently, and again saving that to your dashboard. If we're viewing all again, we're going back to the overall picture, and you can see now how those feed through to this crucial dashboard information. So the suppliers themselves, the meter number or critical contract number, if it's that type of contract, is displayed here, and then the date information is gathered together in terms of giving you then a period of time to the next action point. It's really important that the action point might not necessarily be the end date of the contract, because what you're looking to do is to have a reminder set up of when you next need to do something. That might be notification of notice or termination, and we're then giving you a RAG status, red, amber, green visual note of what's urgent and what's not. So green are the contracts that are somewhere away from anything needing to be done. Amber, those that are approaching action point, and red gives you those ones where you should already be working on those, or already have taken some action, or be extremely close to needing to do so. Very important to have your current contracts, but just as important to make sure you're keeping a history of everything else that you've done previously. So here we give you the opportunity to then have an archive, so you can archive a contract, which means that over time you're building up a ongoing picture of all of the ways in which your contracts have been changed and managed. Other functionality here about another way to access adding a new contract, and of course you have the opportunity to delete a contract if you need to. So it's giving you that overall insurance policy that you know where that data is, and you've got a monitor here of any action point required. There is a very likely situation that you will have many more contracts than this. So we've built in an other function, which means, let's say for instance you have a air conditioning service contract, or a maintenance program on your course maintenance equipment. Then you can define that using this free template, put in the critical supplier information, dates and notice, and describe what it is, upload documents in the same way, and save that. So you're able to create an all-encompassing picture of your contracts within the areas that you need to. And the second, if you like, core value for using contract matters is then around the communication tool that sits behind this. So yes, this is a visual dashboard that's telling you the sort of overview of where you are, but what you know and you can now be guaranteed of, that in the background the portal will run a set of automated communications to the nominated email address for someone to deal with that. So 3 months before, 2 months before, 1 month before, 2 weeks and 1 week before, that nominated person will receive an ever increasingly urgent set of email communications, automatically distributed, warning of what needs to be done next. So never again will you be in a position where, first of all, you can't find the data that you want to look at on a contract, but equally as importantly, that never again will you be in a position where you've missed a date and therefore don't have the opportunity to then reprice or manage the things that happen next in your own way. Those communications are also distributed directly to Material Matters. So in the background, you can also rely on the fact that what we're doing for you, whether we're managing that contract or not, we're putting together new proposals for you in these supply areas, so that as the period approaching the next action point runs through, we will be communicating with you to give you opportunities to save money, to look at other suppliers, or to recontract with the same supplier should that be the right advice and the right thing to do from a commercial point of view. The key thing there is that it's your choice. You're not being forced to do anything because a date has been missed, and you're then in the hands of that supplier rather than managing that position yourself. So hopefully that's given you an overview of how the tool works and highlighted the benefits that will exist for you in terms of using this. There's further information regarding this available on our website, and you always have the opportunity then at the www.materialmattersltd.com web address that there's a contact us, and we would be delighted to hear from you and to then be in contact with you should you require any further information about contract matters or the portal overall. Thank you very much for spending the time to watch this. We've hoped that has been of some benefit to you, and look forward to talking to you about this in the future. Thank you very much.